Alright, boys. We're here, finally. Has it been 2 months since I uploaded last? Yes. Does that matter? No. But we're doing the tier list again. This time, Gen 2. So this is Gold, Silver, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Crystal, all those games. Got the Pepsi here. Let's get into it. Adjust my hat. There you go. I'm all geared up. Okay, first we got Chikorita. And Chikorita will go in trash. Since it's a starter, it shall not go in dog crap because you have so much since you rely so much on Chikorita when you're going through the game that it's not dog shit. But instead it's just normally trash. It doesn't suck. Oh yes, it frickin' does. Unless you want to do a Chikorita run, where you choose Chikorita in the worst possible Pokemon, this is the tier list for you. Okay, next is Bayleaf. I'm gonna put Bayleaf with the same one. I never realized the purpose of Bayleaf. It is 1, hideous, 2, trash, and 3, has the worst color coordination I've ever seen in a starter. It goes from pretty good color coordination, I like it, to fucking banana, back to good color coordination. But anyways, to good color coordination, let's go to Meganium, and I'm gonna put Meganium at okay. Meganium's really tanky. And I mean really tanky, and that kind of makes up for the two shitty evolutions of Chikorita and Bayleaf. So once you can get Meganium in your team you're pretty much good with the rest of your squad. Then you have Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's gonna go out good lead. There is still some negativity with it, but overall I'd say it's pretty good. It doesn't learn a good fire type move till late in its evolution stage. Next is Quilava, which will go in Stellar. Since it already has once you evolve it, already has a good fire move, has amazing speed, and can have a better move set. This is arguably the best starter in the game. I would say it is the best starter. Some people think it's Totodile, and that is totally okay with me. Totodile is awesome. But I do think Quilava is a good Pokemon for the Stellar tier. Next is Typhlosion, and Typhlosion goes immediately up there. You cannot say that Typhlosion is not just one of the best Pokemon in Gen 2. It will carry your entire team through the entire game with ease. That is not even arguable, that is a fact. Next we got Totodile, and that's gonna go with Good Lad and Good Lad. It's the same thing with Cyndaquil, can't learn a good water type move until pretty late. Then we're gonna go with Croconaw, but it's also gonna go Good Lad. I don't think Croconaw is that good. It kind of just stays the same and more balances out when it's more like bite instead of a better water type move like Bubble Beam. So I don't think Bubble Beam was in this generation. Probably was. I think it was. Aqua Tail. Not sure if it was in that generation, but it sure is in Heart Gold Soul Silver. Then you got Feraligatr, which will go in Stellar. Feraligator's awesome. My friends over at Taylor Slip Productions did a water only Nuzlocke. They quit out, but they could have gotten Feraligatr, and that would have been amazing. Also, with the two red Gyarados you can get, that is amazing. Now you have Sentret and Furret. There we go. I'm not going to explain why. Hoothoot. I don't necessarily like Hoothoot. I never found it to be good whatsoever. Same thing with Noctowl. I think I'll put it at not the best because it's got better stats and it's the regional bird. And a lot of people do catch the regional bird and have a lot of liability with it. Next we have Ladybug. Okay, now we have Ledian. I think Ledian is it skyrockets. I'll put it at okay. It's still not the best. It's still not good. But then you go from the crappy Ladybug of Ladybug to a better Ladybug of Ledian. Sorry, I'm sick. Next, we got Spinarak and Ariados. They don't have a good move set, not at all. So I don't understand why you would use them. Now we have Chinchou and Lantern. If I'm correct, they only have one weakness, which is grass, I think. No, I think, right, they have two. Ground and grass, I think. But that's only two weaknesses, and having two weaknesses is usually pretty good. I'm not sure about their moveset. I never really kind of looked into them. I think besides maybe Shuckle and Smeargle. I think Smeargle can only learn one move, so it's fine. Next, we got Togepi. I mean, it's Togepi. What do you expect? Togepi and Togetic suck. And then you get Togekiss in Heart Gold Soul Silver, and it's pretty good. It's actually no, I'll put no, you know what, they can stay there. Natu and Zadu. I like Natu and Zadu. I think they're actually pretty good. They're pretty underrated. I'll put Natu at not the best, but Zatu at okay. Psychic flying, you don't really see that. You go from Gen 2 all the way until Generation 8 until you see another Psychic type or Psychic flying type. And that's literally the past. It makes no sense. Now you have Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos. These ones are actually pretty high. So these two go right there, and then Ampharos all the way up there. So even though I'm pretty sure it's a stone evolution. I have this in my playthrough of Pokemon Silver. No, Pokemon Gold. One of those two. It's one of those. Probably Silver. It's just too good. If you evolve it at the right time, you can get amazing TMs for it and make it such an amazing Pokemon. It will carry your team. It is so good. It does not disappoint. It will provide for your team. Next, we have Azurill, Marill, and Azumarill. So, Marill is okay. It's pretty tanky, but then you got Azumarill, which I think, this is my opinion, the only game it's actually good in. I'll put it at pretty diddly darn good, but it's not the best, but it's pretty tanky. Then you got Bonsly and Sudowoodo. Bonsly is weirdly tanky. I don't know why, but it is. I don't understand it whatsoever, but it is. And that's the only kind of trait it has that would not put it at trash. And Sudowoodo, it's okay. It carries that weight from Bonsly, and I think that's a lot of negativity. It's also a rock type, and rock types have a lot of weaknesses. So I usually don't like using rock types on my team, unless I have to. It's just not Fire Rock. Then we got Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpluff. So, Hoppip. I've noticed that Hoppip has gotten a lot of good feedback from the Pokemon community recently. So I'm not going to put it at crappier than dog crap. I'm just going to put it at trash. I think it only learns a splash from level 1 to level 10. And then it learns not even a good move at level 10. Which, I'm not all for, I don't like it. Then you got Skiploom, which is pretty good. Only game where it actually is good. weirdly enough, has better feedback from the hop-up. Then we have Jumpluff, which necessarily I thought was a Gen 6 Pokemon, because that's the first time I've seen it before. Okay. I'll put it at good too, just because it's a decently good grass type, better than Chikorita and Bayleaf. But I would swap it with Meganium, because Meganium's a lot more tanky, and I think has a better moveset. I'm not too sure. Apom and Ambipom. This isn't a shiny tier list, so I can't put their shinies at S tier. They're pretty good shinies, though. Something I did notice is you came out Gen 4, 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 you came out Gen 4. A lot of these Pokemon came out in Generation 4, so I will include them because that's their evolutions. I'll put Apom okay and Ambipom pretty diddly darn good. Ambipom has double hit and Screech. What Screech does, it lowers its defense. It also has pretty good speed. What double hit does is, it's in the name, hits twice. 2 times. That means it's kind of doubled. So it gives in one hit and then another of the same caliber. With that Screech involved, this doubles it again and will do more damage. Most likely knocking out the opposing Pokemon. That's the only thing good with Ambipom, I think. Let's name something good better with Ambipom in the comments. But I'd say that's where Ambipom should let up. Sunkern and Sunflora, oh my god, I hate them so much. I cannot stress my hate for these Pokemon so much. If you didn't know, Gen 2 is my least favorite generation. This is why. This is why. Sunkern, Sunflora, not unknown. Why not? Wobbuffet. I've had kind of grown on Delibird, but I don't like Delibird all that much. Pineco, Fortress, Yanma, and Yanmega. I think I'll put them at good. I don't know how, like, they relate to Gen 4, but I think they decreased in power. Next, we have the goats themselves. You cannot make any argument. They are the Holy Spirit themselves of Generation 2. This is the biggest reason why Generation 2 was a good generation, in my opinion. Besides that, Tyranitar's frickin' Godzilla himself, and Ho-Oh and Lugia are absolutely amazing. This is why Generation 2 was amazing. Because Wooper and Quagsire was brought into this generation, and they're precious. I don't have a Wooper plush right now, but I swear to you, I will get a Wooper plush by my birthday, October 17th. Okay, anyways, now that I'm done expressing my love over Wooper and Quagsire, which only have one weakness, by the way, Murkrow and Honchkrow. I necessarily do not know where you could put this. I could say this. They have an immunity to Psychic, and Psychic's pretty good in these kind of generations, especially with Alex Sandwich. Oh my god, busted. It's not in here, but it is absolutely busted. It's an amazing Pokemon. Um, I'll put it at diddly darn good, both of them. Actually, I'll put Murkrow okay and Honchkrow there. Because I think Murkrow, it has a low catch rate, but doesn't give you much until it evolves. Mischievous and Mismagius. So these are the only ghost types in this generation, and I would like to share with you my opinion on them. I don't think they're really good. in this generation, but in Generation 4, they're awesome. Mischievous can pretty blah, English, I'm sorry. It's pretty hard to find. The catch rate's pretty low, but if you do end up catching one, it is pretty good. It is amazing. You can use it for Mismagius. I recommend you do use it. There's better ghost types like Gengar you can use in this generation, obviously. But if you don't want to do trades to get that Gengar, I recommend you do use Mr. Biz and Mismagius. So I'm gonna put him at Good Lad. Not Stellar. If they were at Stellar, there has to be 2 more ghost types in this generation. And there's not. Now we got Unknown. Okay, we're done with Unknown. Just because Unknown is actually it's pretty clever. I like what they did. A through Z, that was pretty good. Now we have Why Not and Wobbuffet. There's a specific reason why I do not like Wobbuffet, and I think a lot of you can agree with me on this, and that is Shadow Tag, Counter, and Mirror Coat. Don't know what those are. Shadow Tag makes it that you cannot escape. So if you encounter a wild Wobbuffet in the wild in one of your Nuzlockes, you cannot escape. The only thing that you have to do is catch it or kill it. But here's the thing, Wobbuffet's tanky. And usually if you find a Wobbuffet, it means you already have your encounter. That's usually how it goes in those locks. So, if you see this Wobbuffet, you're screwed. Get prepared to knock out 2 of your Pokemon, because it's hard to kill. It will Mirror Coat you as many times, and it will counter you as many times. You have to use the most beautiful strategy to get out of a Wobbuffet fight and not lose any Pokemon. If you actually do this, I will praise you. Wobbuffet, not the best. That's all it's good for. It does no damage besides that. Now you get Giraffe Rig. So, don't let Giraffe Rig fool you by this little picture. I'll tell you this. Pause this video and look up Giraffe Rig. Now, what you're going to see is a tail. That tail has a mouth, and that mouth is completely useless. But not Giraffe Rig. It's actually a decent psychic type. Now we got Pineco and Fortress. So, what if I told you Pineco is trash and the only reason Fortress is at okay is because that it can boom successfully? Didn't see that coming, huh? Now we got Dunsparce. Oh my god. I like Dunsparce. Dunsparce is pretty cool, but it's trash. I know a lot of people like Dunsparce because a lot of people in the Pokemon community are kind of like in their 20s. They've played not Soul Silver. They played Gold and Silver and Crystal when it came out. And Dunsparce was kind of a thing. They liked him. So put him at not the best. I'm not going to put him at trash. I'll put him at not the best just because of the nostalgia that it brings a lot of the Pokemon community. It has such good feedback from it. Now we have Gligar and Gliscor, and I cannot shed my love for these 2 Pokemon. Let me tell you why. Story time. Get your milk and cookies. I was doing a Nuzlocke, a Stone Link with one of my friends, and we went into the Grand Underground, and we got 2 Pokemon, Gliscor and Apoudon. So, I caught the Gliscor, or the Gligar, and he caught the Apoudon. The thing was, I had nobody to trade with, so I could not get the Gliscor. Little did I know, Gliggy the Gligar was about to do the most amazing thing that one of my Pokemon has ever done. And that, my friends, was lift the team on its shoulders through the Elite Four until its tragic death against Cynthia. We had an I salute that Gligar. Gliggy forever lives in my heart as one of the best Pokemon in one of my Nuzlockes. I have a video on my channel, a YouTube short, that says my top 10 Pokemon of all time. That was before Gligar. Gligar would have been number 2. So, for that, my friend, you get Stellar Tier. In Gliscor, who shall not be ashamed on, you will also get Stellar Tier. The stats, they go up. Why is Earthquake so fucking good? Okay, now Snubble and Granbull. I don't like them. I don't like Snubble, but it sure gets a big upgrade with Granbull. Oh my goodness. So, I think I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. And if that would have happened, it would have taken me maybe another 2 to 3 weeks to actually play with every single Pokemon on the Steam. So I kind of went into a different one because I really thought that the Gen 2 game I had was going a little slower. So I popped up into Generation 6 and I used the Snubble and it was trash. Then I used the Granbull and it was good, but I think that was the Generation 6. But I need content, so there we go. Granbull's that good lad. Next we have Willfish. Okay, now we have Shuckle. Do not let Shuckle fool you. This thing might look crappy, but it is deadly. You can set up with this thing, and oh my god, your opponent will feel mercy. But other than that, it can't really do that much damage. It's only good for setting up, so pretty diddly darn good. Now we have Heracross, which, whew, not too shabby, but not too good. I think I'll put it at good, just because. Now you have Sneasel and Weavile. The only thing that stops me from putting them one tier above from where they are is their weaknesses. You're quad weak to fighting, you're weak to fire, you're weak to rock, you're weak to bug. There's something I'm forgetting. I know there is. But you're weak to a lot of things. And that's not a good thing. That's not good whatsoever. But there's no fairing this generation. So you only have 4 weaknesses, one being quad. That's not good. It's like having 5 normal weaknesses. Now you have Teddiursa and Ursaring. Teddiursa is not the best. Weirdly enough, I've actually found Teddiursa to be pretty good for like fodder. It can stay alive for a long time. Ursaring, it's tanky. It's a good fodder Pokemon, but obviously you wouldn't want to use it for fodder. You'd want to use it in your team. So if you were using it in your team, it would be pretty diddly darn good. And now you have, damn, I forgot that Pokemon's name. But this Pokemon in which its name I have forgotten will go in okay. It's a fire type. You don't really see many fire types, so I'll give him that. Now you have Macargo. Macargo fast. Okay. Macargo slow. I'll put it at good. It's just an upgrade of the Pokemon which name I have forgotten. Then we have my... I love that Pokemon so much. It's so cute. But I can't be biased towards it. It's going in okay. Same thing with Pillow Swine. But Memo Swine. Oh, don't get me started. It is so good. It's not going in Stellar because Ice type. Ice type is not good. But it gets that Ground type. Ground type is one of the best goddamn types in the game. It is so good. And then we have Corsola. Okay, then we have Remoraid. Remoraid, it goes in okay. Okay, there it is. Same thing with Octillery. Then we have the Burb of the Delis. I'll put it at not the best. Just because I've seen it shiny, it's actually pretty good. I'll give him that. Mantike, trash. Mantine, actually better. Mantine is kind of frowned upon because of Mantike and its weirdness, its ugliness. It's still bad, but it's okay. Then we got Skarmory, which I like to call Skirmy. Pretty dilly darn good. Steel Flying. He actually, I think it's the only Steel type prior to Gen 2. I'm pretty sure it is, right? Yeah, okay, yes it is. Houndour and Houndoom. Both a good lad. They're pretty amazing. They have there's a lot of good things about them. They will carry your team start to finish, but they don't really have equal resistances, if you know what I'm saying. They do rid of Psychic, which is pretty good because Alakazam is one of the best Pokemon in the game. Then it also doesn't get affected by Mirror Coat, which is very, very important. Then you have Doniphan and Phanpy. So I'm gonna get a lot of hate for not putting Phanpy high because people think it's cute. I think it's hideous. I'm putting it not the best. It can get you somewhere. Donphan, it's it's okay. It's good. It's good. Like a very low good tier. Like a very, very low good tier. Very low. Then we have Stantler. I like Stantler. I've grown on it. When Legends Arceus came out, I think that's when I really, really started to like it because of Weird Ear. I think Weird Ear's cool, but Weird Ear's not in this generation, so we're just gonna put Stantler at not the best. Now we have Smeargle, which can learn every single move in the game, but can only learn one at a time. Therefore, it's not the best. I'm sorry, I just have PTSD when I look at this thing. Alright, story time. This, my friends, is Miltank. Miltank has a specific moveset. Rollout, Milk Drink, Stomp, and Attract. Let me roll you through all these moves. What Attract does, immobilizes the opposing Pokemon. This will fail if the opposing Pokemon is the same gender as the user Pokemon. Say this Miltank is female and your Cyndaquil is female. That won't do anything. Next we have Rollout. Rollout's a rock type move and will not stop. You cannot stop using Rollout until it misses. Here's the catch. Rollout increases damage each time. until it misses. Then you have Stomp, which is the highest base damaging move of all four of these moves, and can make your opposing Pokemon flinch. Next is the big bad Milk Drink. The reason we all fear Whitney and her crying ass because she is just a giant baby. Milk Drink restores a specific percentage of Miltank's health. And with the cherry on top, if you finally drain all of Miltank's health, or Milk Drinks, Whitney still has healing items. So, making the only way that you can counter this demon of a Pokemon is by getting Muscle Limit. And that's actually a pretty good way to counter. Now we go on to the legendaries. So the legendaries is where I usually kind of put it in like base teams, not stats, just on a base team on where you'd get it. So I think you'd have to. So these are the roaming legendaries, Raikou and Entei. You'd have to be lucky to catch one, but say you do catch one. I've caught one before, and I felt so good about myself after that. Good lad. It's actually amazing. Unlike Entei, which is okay. I don't know why, but Entei's just trash. Then you have the Suicune, which you cannot get on your base team. You have to wait until post-game. But say you're challenging it again, it would be pretty diddly darn good, unlike Raikou. Now you have Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar. Here's where people are going to come at me with this one. They have too many weaknesses for me to put them where you want me to put them. Larvitar, I'll put you at okay. Pupitar, I'll put you at not the best, and I'll put Tyranitar at good lad. The only thing stopping me from putting Tyranitar at stellar is the fact that it has so many weaknesses. I don't understand. Game Freak, you made Godzilla himself. I cannot praise that so much. You've made Godzilla. But why did you have to make him so good in stats, but so bad in type advantages and type disadvantages? Okay, now we got the two legendaries and the mythical. I'm just gonna get Celebi out of the way first. I think Celebi's an onion. Actually, not the best. Just because they made an onion a mythical Pokemon is pretty funny to me. Then you got Lugia and Ho-Oh, which get a lot of appraise, and all of that appraise I cannot ignore. It gets some say a little too much, but there we go. So a quick refresher in crappier than dog crap, the lowest tier this time. We have Sentret, Lediba, Togepi, Togetic, Azuro, Sunkern, Sunflora, and Wynot. In trash, we have Chikorita, Banana Bayleaf, Hoot Hoot, Spinarak, Ariados, Hoppip, Unknown, Pineco, Quillfish, Corsola, Mantike. Now, in not the best, we have Furret, Noctowl, Natu, Bonsley, Wobbuffet, Girafarig, Dunsparce, Snubble, Teddiursa, Delibird, Fanpy, Stantler, Smeargle, Pupitar, and Onion. Now, I think I kind of, looking at it again, I'm not going to change anything, but if I were a viewer coming in to see this video, I'd think I'd be smoking crack just because of what this is. In OK tier, we have Meganium, Ledian, Natu, Meryl, Sudowoodo, Apom, Murkrow, Fortress, Slugma, shut the Pokemon in which its name I do not know. Swinub, Piloswine, Remoraid, Octillery, Mantine, Entei, and Larvitar. In good tier, we have Chinchou, Lantern, Togekiss, Skiploom, Jumpluff, Yanma, Yanmega, Heracross, Magcargo Slow, Donphan, and pretty diddly darn good. We got Mareep, Flaffy, Azurill, or not Azurill, Azumarill, Ambipom, Honchkrow, Shuckle, Sneasel, Ursaring, Skarmory, Miltank, and Suicune. In Good Lad, we have Cyndaquil, Totodile, Croconaw, Mischievous, Mismagius, Granbull, Weavile, Memaswine, Houndour, Houndoom, Raikou, and Tyranitar. In Stellar, we have Quilava, Typhlosion, Feraligatr, Ampharos, Dubois, Wooper, and Quagsire. Maybe a little biased here. Gligar, Gliscor, Lugia, and Ho-Oh. So, that's the final product. If you like this video, please subscribe. And if you think I should have done something different, please tell me in the comments below. While you're there, please like and subscribe. I don't do this a lot, mainly because reasons. School is the biggest reason. And I have strep right now, so I'm not really in the best mood of recording. I'm surprised I haven't hacked up a storm. But anyways, here's the final product. If you would like to pause and look it over yourself, and kind of make some edits to where you would put a Pokemon. I'll go scroll through one more time. And there you go. So, thank you very much for watching. It really helps me do better. So does liking and subscribing. It says to me that, hey, people like the content I put out and want to see more. So, I'll see you next time.